Good morning, all. Can you hear
Good
me?
morning. Yeah,
Okay, thank you. I see a couple of people have joined already, so I just waited for just 10 minutes. So let us start now because it may take a lot of time for us. When it will start, we are starting now. We are starting now. No worries. So, good morning for everyone again, and beautiful Sunday on this February.
good morning.
And would like to talk today about the Palo Alto networks. Palo Alto, everyone is working so heavily on this Palo Alto, and we have quite a lot of numbers of the firewalls has been installed in our networks, in our client networks, in our own company networks. And Palo Alto is a very good name in the firewall market, and they are good on the cybersecurity firewalls, next generation firewalls. Like in the virtual machines like that they have, and the content firewalls they started now, and they have the implementations has been started for 3 4 years back on this on cloud cloud firewalls they've been started like, so we can install the virtual machines on the clouds itself. We can go to any marketplace and we can start install that Palo Alto. We can even try for that also, maybe like 15 days 30 days evaluation copy or something. We can try for that. Somebody is chatting. Voice is not audible. Yeah, I started already. People are hearing that. Inayat, can you hear us? Can you hear me? It's started. Maybe like you must have muted something like, or check your speakers, and otherwise better you remove your headphones and try to listen from the directly on the speakers in mobile as well as in the laptop. Okay, thank you. So we will continue on Palo Alto. Palo Alto is a very good name in the market because Palo Alto engineers has been very much welcome for the HRs. And we've been looking for many other peoples who are Palo Alto certified peoples. So this demo is going to be like, I'll be introducing not only talking about the older Palo Alto firewalls, and we will be talking about something new, like because they have the latest version has been increased. Latest version has been released now. Earlier, we've been working with the Palo Alto Pan OS. It is called as a Pan OS. Pan OS 6 was there. Still, I have that 6 OS has been running on my own virtual machine. And 8 has come, then the 9 has come, 9.1 has come. Now it is a 10.00. That is what been the latest version of the Pan OS has come up. Pan OS is nothing but like that, Cisco IOS like that. It is an internet working operating system like that. So this PAN OS will be running on the Palo Alto firewalls, which will be doing all the intelligent decisions of the packet forwarding, filtering, and working on next generation firewalls like that. So it is the Palo Alto is again based on the Linux background only. It has been running on the Linux box on top of it. So Linux is free. So everyone is acquiring the Linux and they start working on building their own applications on that. So we can even make the Linux as a firewall also. We can do all the things whichever it has been there. Either you can take that CentOS or Scientific Linux, or like Ubuntu also you can take that and you can build it as like a firewall. It is possible. But only thing is that you just need to give a proper updates for that. Virus definitions has to be updated, and the latest like the attacks need to be properly modified. And we just need to find out that what all the email signatures are coming up on this. So it's a very tedious work. It's not just only building the firewall, but we will be have to work on a daily basis like that. The signatures need to get updated on that. So that is a very challenging task for everyone. So that's why the Palo Alto has got a team of engineers who are sitting on this one. They'll do all, and the internet, what are the new viruses coming up, what spam is coming up, what sort of the ransomware is coming up on the market like that. So they find out and they'll find the solutions for that and they'll give the fixes for that so that we'll be downloading and we'll be, upgrading our firewalls on this one. So still we are running on 8, Palo Alto 8. The version is running on 8.6 also has been running in some places. But I would like to suggest that we should not be running the older versions because it may not be able to detect the new viruses, and it may not be able to detect the new definitions or something. Not able to listen anything. So anybody else has got a problem like this? Many people are saying that.
No, your voice is loud and clear.
It is now clear. Okay. What about others? Please unmute and please speak so that I can get that, because this is a demo.
The voice is clear, no problem.
Now it is clear, right? Voice is better now, he's saying. Okay. Maybe like due to some
voice is clear.
yeah, line conditions, maybe like the problems. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I was talking about that, the latest firewall updations and other things. Because what we are talking, like, we will be using the firewalls and we will be installing the firewalls without any update or something like that. That is actually bad. We just need to upgrade the OS versions, which is being given day to day, and whenever there is a new update has been coming up. So we just need to do that upgradation has to be done manually by carefully seeing what all this new signatures has come up and what is the new features has been added to the the new release or something like that. So we just need to be in a position to find out all the things, because all the companies will be, they will be sending the mails to us by saying that these are all the new versions, or these are all the new the upgradations has to be done on that, and these are all the patches has to be done on this, and these are all the new features has been introduced in the new OS. Like that, when we have all these informations are given day to day life, we will be seeing all the mails from the particular vendors or something. We just need to see it, we just need to like read it, and what are the new updates are coming up. Accordingly, we just need to upgrade our firewall. Firewall will be working perfectly. Firewall cannot be attacked at all. But what is the problem is that if you are running the older version of the firewall, the OS version is older, 8 something you are running on that. Now the 10 has come up. If you're not upgrading that, then in between the year, like 8 has introduced in 2-3 years back, and all like the last 2-3 years, whatever we have, those new variants of the viruses, ransomwares, and spammers, and other things which will not be detected at all by your software, means of firewall or something. So because when it is not detecting, you may be thinking that your systems are very, very pure, and it's like it's nothing is going to be affected or something. No, not that way. Because of that, firewall is not able to find out the new variants on this. It doesn't mean that your network is completely protected or something. It is not the way. So we are in a position, we need to upgrade our firewalls, we need to upgrade our virus definitions. We just need to go with the proper patches every time. This is not only for the firewall I'm talking, this is for the entire operating systems or applications or databases. Whatever we are running, that proper patches need to be included. Then only our system will be in a good condition, and it should be in a good integrity. Integrity will be nice whenever we are upgrading things, but upgradation cannot be taken so easily. We need to go through the proper standard operating procedures. So we just need to go through that. Either we may have to install that upgrades in the normal non-productive boxes, like the non-production boxes, like that. We just need to do that. In that boxes, if it is not creating any issues at all, it is not breaking any older things and all that, then we can go ahead and we can start doing all these things. That is very much possible. So there will be a standard operating procedure for every other company which will be doing on this. Accordingly, we just need to do that. So in this demo today, we will be talking about that the what are the new products has got the Palo Alto, because you may be finding out a lot of videos on YouTube, and the peoples are having like a lot of videos which has been coming up with that. Many other companies has been producing. Udemy has been giving a lot of videos. CVT Nuggets has got a lot of videos like. So those are all things like it's been taken as like a teaching, like that. It goes like a session or something. They're making it, but today I'm trying to give it to you like what are the new features has been added, and what is the new OS has got that, and what is the on the OS, what are the things has been done on this. It's not only just a lab or like creating a IPsec VPN from here and connecting the Cisco router to the Palo Alto, or just doing the SSL VPN configuration. This you can find out in anywhere in the YouTube, or even you can go to the Palo Alto website itself. They have given the proper finer documents are available on that. By seeing the documents itself, you can start doing all the labs as well on your own. There is no need of going for buying any videos. Somebody is talking. Please mute the phone. Please mute the phone. Thank you. And yeah, like so we can get into the documentations which has been given by the Palo Alto in their own site, docs.paloalto.com something is there. You can just go there and you can see every other lab has been properly documented, where to go, what to click, how to get it in the GUI, as well as the CLI. We can do that. A lot of like scenario based labs has been given for that, so we can go for that. But what I'm going to do today is like I'll be introducing something on the what are the products they have, and what are the products in which format we'll be having it. Either it is a appliance, it's a physical boxes, or it is a virtual machines, or it's like a CN, like that they come out with that. That is for a cloud-based network firewalls like that we can do. And we will be seeing about the versions of the OS, like versions means the PAN OS versions 8, 9, 9.1, and the 10. This will be seeing it on the 10. What are the new features has been introduced to that? That will be seeing through the slides. Because we've been using the Palo Alto for quite some time, we've been getting the documents which are not given to the public, and all I used to get that. So I try to show it to you because it's a more of interactive session as well as more of a documentation session, I can just say that. So I will just show you all these things later. At the end of the session, I will just show you how to install the Palo Alto in your VMware workstation in the Windows 10 boxes. I have made some one CentOS like web server which is running on that. And after that, I just had some kind of the Windows 7. I just use it as like a the client side that, so the client will be accessing the web server through the firewall. That will be seeing very simple. One anyone can do that. I'll just show you. Okay, let us go back to this the Palo Alto things. Let me start that. Palo Alto has got three different kind of solutions which they are giving it. So these three are, I guess it's been made as new, or they just named it like that, like a brand name. They just made it like. One is called as a Strata, another one is a Prisma, the last one is a Cortex. Strata is nothing but secure your enterprise against tomorrow's threats today. Protect users, applications, and data anywhere with intelligent network security from Palo Alto Network. This is for the Strata solution is for the on-premises as well as the data center network connectivity, protection and all it goes with that. Then the next one is the Prisma. Prisma is like enterprise runs in the cloud, secure it today, comprehensive full life cycle for any and all clouds. Prisma solutions which comes under for the cloud solutions it comes. And the last one is the Cortex. Tomorrow's SOC uses AI and ML, that is nothing but artificial intelligence and machine learning, to turn the tedious into automatic. Stop tomorrow's threat today with industry leading detection. So these are all the three different kind of the solutions has been offered by the Palo Alto for all the customers. Maybe we've been working on, because I can just say because I am working on in this industry for the last 12 years. So around 6 to 7 years I've been working on this Palo Alto boxes. We used to do that Strata only, maybe like because nowadays the name has been given as Strata, and we've been working on a PA, some versions of the boxes which we will see the box details about that later. So Strata is a solution for the like your on-premises network security solutions as well as the data center solutions like that it comes. Then the Prisma is for the cloud. Prisma is for the cloud, and Strata is for the on-premises networks like you can take that. Cortex is for AI and ML for the SOC solutions it comes like this. So these three are the solutions which has been offered by Strata. We will be seeing the Palo Alto things like in the next slides. Palo Alto, ML powered next generation firewall. The face of the enterprise is changing. Attacks are constantly and automatically morphing. New devices are proliferating rapidly without any notice. Your business needs are driving rapid changes. Typical security products force you to react to these changes manually, straining your resources and leaving your organization exposed. So what we need to do? The world needs a new type of firewall, one with the machine learning and analytics at its core, capable of identifying the new threats, devices, and more without relying on fingerprinting or signatures. It must continuously update the machine learning models by analyzing the data using the unlimited cloud compute. It must continuously collect telemetry and recommend policy and configuration changes to reduce the risk and reduce the chance of errors. So that is the next generation firewall, which has been offered from the Strata solutions. Strata, what all things we are going to have it on the product side, we'll be seeing the network security, next generation firewall, security subscriptions, Panorama. Panorama is used to manage all the network link. And the cloud delivered networking security, Prisma Access, CloudGenix SD-WAN, VM series, CN series, Prisma CSAAS. And the use cases, if you just see, network security on the data center, data protection, IoT security, network perimeter, zero trust security, and secure SG, secure 5G, like this it goes. So these are all given by the solutions of this Strata. Cloud delivered, you can just see. The next one is like Palo Alto Prisma. The Prisma is like enterprise runs on the cloud. This is about the cloud. Security today. Cloud native security, Prisma Cloud 2.0. Cloud delivered networking and security, Prisma Access, CloudGenix SD-WAN, VM series, and CN series and Prisma SAAS. These are all there, and the use cases you can just see: cloud security posture management, cloud workload protection, cloud network security, cloud infrastructure entitlement management. This is coming under the Prisma. So the Strata is used for the on-premises and other networks. Prisma has been used in the cloud networks. And the next one is the Cortex. Cortex is like a SOC, upgradation of the SOC using the AI and ML. Cortex has got the products like XDR, XSOAR, Cortex Data Lake, Crypsys, and Autofocus. Use cases where we will be using this Cortex: endpoint protection, detection and response, orchestration and automation, case management, incident response, managed detection and response, network traffic analysis, threat intel management, managed threat hunting, cloud security orchestrations. These are all the places we'll be using that Cortex. Cortex is nothing but like a intelligence which has been built by the artificial intelligence and machine learning. So that is what going to rule the world in next 50 years, I can just say. So we are in a position that we've already been using the, like artificial intelligence and machine learning and other things and all. Our Google Map is also started using this AI and ML technology to find out the routes which are not having the much traffic for us to go for this. Okay, anyway, let's see about that. And this is the small slides which I got it from their own white papers, which I got that from Palo Alto. One by one, we'll be seeing that. 20% of the breaches due to the compromised passwords. So our passwords should be going with the proper credentials like that. We just need to make it like eight characters and all. It will not work out. We just need to make more strong passwords. Better we can have the password manager or something like that. We'll go further. It will be detecting. It will be creating the passwords and give it to us like randomly. We just need to use it. Second one, 66% of the organizations are actively consolidating the cybersecurity vendors. Means people are looking for cybersecurity and they are looking for a cybersecurity solutions. Time spent on encrypted websites and applications. 87, I guess, 97% of the time spent on pages that use the HTTPS, secure pages. And 96% of the pages are loaded on HTTPS. You see that? So without HTTPS, nothing is going to work us. Even our social networking sites and all the entertainment sites, everything is running on HTTPS only nowadays. So attacks are heavy, that's why. Okay, 75% of the WAN infrastructure refreshes will include the SD-WAN. SD-WAN is where quite currently good in the market. They got very good of, like people are going for a Silver Peak SD-WAN or a Cisco SD-WAN, Viptela, they are going for this. And by 2020 itself, they're saying that 75% of the people are going for that because it is like based on cloud only. So 84% of the enterprises have multi-cloud strategy. Multi-cloud, it's not only the AWS. It's not only AWS, they are having the Azure also. And they are having the Google Cloud also. So like that is nothing but a multi-cloud strategy. So entire the network, how does it been getting like promoted in the way in the 2021 in the sense, we are all looking for the more cloud operations. It's been more cloud operations and on-premises activities are getting lesser nowadays. And the WAN is going for an SD-WAN, right? And the people are looking for a security-based sites and people are looking for a cybersecurity vendors and other things. Compromised passwords are the bigger problems every time that we don't need to say that always. So what does it mean? All things. We need to have very stronger solutions on the security. Stronger solution in the sense the solutions will be there, but we just need to have the people to have to implement and maintain and upgrade on all the systems because we require SOC engineers. That's what I would like to say that. So whenever there is a SOC engineers is coming up, then the certifications will come up. Palo Alto certification, checkpoint certifications, FortiGate certifications, Cisco certifications. So every time we are looking for a certified people only. So it's not only the certificate makes sense, but we need to have the proper knowledge also about that. Working knowledge is required. Then only you will be get hired. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Shared threat intelligence. So this is about the threat which is coming from anywhere. Like that, it's coming from the network. It's coming through the endpoint. It's coming from the cloud, and more of the other partners and other people are there like that. So this is like static analysis need to be done. Dynamic analysis has to be done. Machine learning should be included. Bare metal analysis, dynamic patching, dynamic unpacking, sorry, network traffic profiling, recursive analysis. So the protections need to be done against malwares, URLs, DNS, auto C2, updated within the seconds and globally, prevent patient zero with inline ML, and the unknown things are coming up from the web, flash, scripts, archive, binaries, and documents, and other things are coming. This is like a shared intelligence. We need to have a proper intelligence which has been built on like a machine. So from that machine learning or something, artificial intelligence, we will be finding out all the threat whichever it is coming from any means, through the email, through the passwords, through the things which is coming up on the surfing on the websites or something. It is cookies getting installed in your places, in your PCs and mobiles. So the threat can come from anywhere. It is like we require a centralized threat intelligence which will attack all the threats to go away from our network like that. So 15 things we require to know the next generation firewalls must do. Next generation firewall is nothing but it is going to work in the layer 7, layer 5 to layer 7, like that you can just say. So first is like identifying the users and enable the appropriate access. Authorized access, it will be the first priority. Second one, prevent the theft and abuse of corporate credentials. This is more important. We need to keep the passwords and other things. It should be in a safe locker and key something. Safely enable all apps and control applications. This is not like just to go and keep on installing the apps like in the Android phone or something like that. We should not be doing that. All the applications has to be verified and it should be certified to enabling that in our corporate network. Close the dangerous policy gaps. There is nothing but like a leak. We are talking about the leak of the policy. Giving a policy and that may be leaking to some other things in the sense we just need to verify that. We need to block all the leaks and other things. Secure the encrypted traffic. Stop advanced threats and prevent successful cyber attacks. Stop attacks that use the DNS. DNS attacks are very common nowadays. Protect your growing mobile workforce. This is most important. Protect your mobile. Because of that, mobile communications has been so much in the network because of the things only like coming from the mobile only. Extend the security to evolving cloud environment. This is a new challenge which has been coming up for last 3-4 years. Using the zero trust strategy. Maintain consistent access control and policy across clouds and on-premises, remote and mobile networks. Automate routine tasks and focus on the threats that matter. Here the automation comes in because if we are not in a position to go and check it out, all the firewalls has been uploaded, upgraded or not, patches are applied or not, something like that. We can write a script to do the automating all these things, whichever it is not been upgraded or something, because the people are normally we are managing around 300 to 400 firewalls. So we cannot log into every firewall to find out that. So we just need to automate certain things. Coordinate the detection and the analytics with other security tools. Consolidate the connectivity of the security. Reduce the exposure of IoT, Internet of Things. Internet of Things is like every other electronic machine has been put on the internet. So the threat can come from anywhere. The leaks can happen from anywhere. Like the attack can come from anywhere. So we just need to be very much vigilant. So with this 15 points, we just need to remember what all the network, what is the next generation firewall has to do. So we just need to verify it with our vendors, whether our firewall is going to do all these things. Else we may have to go for an upgradation. Else we may have to change the firewall completely to make all the policies, rules and other things, access lists and everything. We just need to take a backup and we'll have to do it at the new firewall, which is offering the next generation firewalls. The next one is like ML powered next generation firewall, means like my machine learning powered. Okay, next generation firewall, which has been offered by our Palo Alto, because we are seeing the Palo Alto demo. PA series, physical appliances, ML powered HGW physical appliances enable you to stay ahead of unknown threats, see everything, including IoT, and reduce errors with automatic policy recommendations. This is the PA, because nowadays PA installations are very lesser. PA in the sense we are going to talk about something on the physical. We are not installing any physical firewalls. There's the last time I can remember that 3 years back I was just installing one PA box in a client location something. Our team was doing that. So now what we are doing, this is 100% we are working on 100% we are working on VM series. We are installing it in the VMware ESXi, or we will be installing it in the cloud platform. That is what the VM series it is called. Virtual firewalls, that virtualized version of the ML powered HGW protects your private and public cloud deployment with the segmentation and proactive threat prevention. CN series, container firewalls. This is a very new one. I'm just listening it in the Palo Alto environment only. Container firewalls will be protecting your Kubernetes containers. Container firewalls is called as a CN series. Containerized version of the ML powered prevents sophisticated network-based threats from spreading across Kubernetes namespace boundaries. This is more important. So this is a new thing in the market. We just need to learn this because people are slowly started moving towards automations and the cloud. And even if you're not working on the containers or something, must be started hearing about these words in your daily day-to-day life. Somebody must be talking about that. Some mails must have been coming on this. Some other people are talking about the Docker and Kubernetes and other things. They're looking for installing the applications on some other container applications or something. So the firewalls has got also the new responsibility to protect the containers as well. That is why it is called as a container series. They got the container series, new firewall has come up. So we just need to work on those things also. Evolution of the next generation firewall. Early on, stateful inspection firewalls classified traffic by looking only at the destination port, such as TCP port 80. As a need for application awareness arose, many vendors added application visibility and the other software hardware like Blades into their stateful inspection firewalls, which they subsequently sold as Unified Threat Management (UTM). Seen in the firewall, FortiGate also, as well as checkpoint also. However, since their definitions, their functions were retrofitted, not natively integrated, UTMs did not improve security. There was a flaw in that one. So Gartner predicted that by the end of 2019, hello, please mute your mic. Thank you. Thank you. Something has come up. Okay. So Gartner is the one which will be predicting about the statistics of the, like they will be taking a lot of statistics all over the world on every other industry. And they're saying that 90% of the enterprise internet connections from the installed base would be secured with the next generation firewalls. Unlike UTM offerings, next generation firewalls are application aware and make decisions based on application, user, and content. The integrated design improves security and simplifies operations. Given the model success, the term next generation firewall is now synonymous with the firewall. They're just saying that, but we are talking about a NGFW only. This one, next generation firewall requirements like that. Identify the applications regardless of the port, protocol, evasive tactics, or encryption. Identify the users regardless of the device or IP address. Decrypt the encrypted traffic. Protect in real time against known and unknown threats embedded in the applications. Deliver the predictable multi-gigabit inline throughput. So next generation firewall selection criteria typically fall into 3 areas: security functions, operations, and performance. Once again, somebody is no, let me mute all. Thank you. Then we'll start that. So this next generation firewalls typically fall into the 3 areas. That is the security functions, operations, and performance. The security functions correspond to the efficacy of the security controls and your team's ability to manage the risk associated with the applications traversing your network without slowing down the business. From an operation perspective, application policy should be accessible and simply managed. applying automation to reduce the manual effort. Performance criteria are simple. Firewall must do what it is supposed to do at the required throughput of your business needs. What all things we are looking for? There should be the new rules has to be implemented, and it should not affect the performance of that, because whenever it starts screening each and every packet which is moving across the firewall, that will make the CPU to have a hike and all the other applications will get slow. So we just need to manage all these things. We just need to do each and every packet screening has to be done, and along with all the policies and as well. But at the same time, the performance should not decrease. So PA series firewalls will see simplify and strengthen your security of with our prevention focused like architecture that is easy to deploy. And this is the headquarters and office campus, branch offices, data center. So there are many series which have already been offered, like like these are all the physical firewalls appliances which we can install in our network. PA 7000 series and PA 5200 series, PA 3200 series, PA 800 series, PA 220, PA 220R. Everything has got its own pros and cons. You can just say intelligence, simplicity, versatility for enterprise and service provider deployments. This is for service provider deployments. And PA 5200, that is also for data centers and service providers. 3200, it's like a threat coverage at the internet edge. We can install it in our own, in our headquarters or a branch offices like that. 800 series for a branch as well as a mid-sized businesses. 220 is for small form factor, like around 10 people, 15 people are there in your company in the sense. So in the branches on the level, you can go for that. 220R, it is for the severe environments. So many other boxes are available. Accordingly, we just need to choose that and we'll have to deploy the things. This is for a physical firewall they're talking about. VM series, automate the network security. VM series virtual firewalls integrate the network security provisioning directly into the application development lifecycle and CI/CD pipelines to ensure safe on-demand scalability. CI/CD is nothing but continual improvement and continual development, continuous like that. So improvement network security posture. VM series firewalls allow you to consistently manage network security for applications hosted on premises, in private and in public clouds across the branch location. So VM series are the one we are installing on all the clouds nowadays. Simplify the compliance, mitigate the risk by reducing your attack surface, inserting threat prevention in decentralized environments, archive PD compliance with regulations such as all our things are there. Boost your SDN investments, secure the virtual enterprise network in VMware, NSX, and other software-defined environments. Limit lateral threat movement, prevent data exfiltration, and secure the traffic between the trust zones. This is VM series. CN series, very important. Keep cloud native applications nimble and secure with the industry's first container next generation firewall built specifically for Kubernetes environments. This is for Kubernetes environments. CN series. Gain visibility and control. The CN series provides full layer 7 traffic visibility, including the source IP and outbound traffic. Streamline DevOps security by using the CN series. YAML file configuration seamlessly establishes. Boost overall security posture. CN series firewalls enforce the enterprise level security and threat protection in the container traffic. Reduce time and effort of CN series using the Panorama for the management things as a single console to manage all network security components and firewalls, whether physical, virtual, or container. We have 3 series. One is a PA series, one is a PA series, another one is a VM series, the last one is a CN series. So all 3 things can be managed by the Panorama. We will be seeing the slides in the latest coming slides. On this. Okay, the next one, PAN-OS. We will be seeing about the PAN-OS. 8 has not been considered because they are not given anything on 8 about that in their site or something. I just going through this to make this presentation. For that, I went to that place to get all the information. The PAN-OS 9.0. With the PAN-OS 9.0, we introduced the simplified operations through analytics and automation, while giving security teams end-to-end visibility and control across the data center, perimeter, branch, mobile, and cloud networks. So frankly, to speak about that, we are still using the 8. Like 9 is not good. Okay, anyway, PAN-OS 9.0. top three. Some places are 6 is being used. PAN-OS 6. Okay, DNS security and policy optimizer, PA 7000 enhancements of that. DNS security service applies predictive analytics to disrupt attacks that use the DNS for command and control data theft. Tight integration with the next generation firewalls. And cloud-based protections are always up to date and scale infinitely. Policy optimizer, moving the port-based legacy firewall rules, app ID technology based one greatly reduce opportunity for the attack. Like PAN-OS is moving from legacy rules to the app ID based controls. New hardware for the PA 7000 series. New enhancements make PA 7000 series next generation firewalls blazingly fast. The network processing card and the switch management card and the log forwarding card intelligently distribute the processing demands, each with massive amounts of computing power and dedicated memory. The new PA 7000 series to stop most sophisticated cyber attacks at the highest throughput level. This is about the level which we are talking on the PAN-OS 9.0. And the 9.1, what are the new things has been introduced? New services and features that help organization extend the security into branch offices, apply security dynamically to users, and provide better visibility for mobile users connecting to the network. So 9.1 is taking care about the mobile network also, like a 4G, 5G. Not 5G is not there, but 4G. Secure SD-WAN, dynamic user groups, global protect enhancements. These are all there. Secure SD-WAN, Palo Alto integrated NGW security with the SD-WAN functionality in single management system, Prisma Access. Our secure service edge SASE integrates directly the SD-WAN partners to deliver the SD-WAN as a cloud service. Prisma Access helps organizations optimize performance and eliminates the need to build out custom SD-WAN hubs and interconnects, dynamic user groups, global protect enhancements. These are all done in the PAN-OS 9.1. Now we are talking about the PAN-OS 10. Now the 10 has been introduced and it has been quite available for the last 6 or 8 months or something like that. So what are the things has been come up on this? June 2020, Palo Alto introduced the ML powered NGW, was the first machine learning powered next generation firewall. Our mission with this release is to continue to empower you to stay ahead of emerging threats, secure your entire enterprise, support speed and error reduction. At the heart of the disruptive solution, PAN-OS 10, need for paradigm shift to usher into a new era of proactive and intelligent security utilizing machine learning. So without AI and ML, nothing is going to work out in our own whole life. So we just need to start learning about the AI and ML also. Anyway, whatever the devices which you are using, which has been already powered by this ML powered. Okay, recent PAN-OS releases represent our continued commitment towards standards, enables proactively stop threat and secure IoT devices, policy recommendations and much more. And all features in the previous releases, because the backward compatibility has been there. Everything is there, plus added new features, which we are going to see one by one. Don't get bored. Top features on PAN-OS 10.0. You see that IoT security. It's very important. IoT security. Next generation for the Kubernetes. ML-based inline prevention. Simplified decryption. DNS security. HA clustering. These are all the main points which are discussed in the PAN-OS 10. This PAN-OS 10 will be doing wonder for us, but it requires a heavy memory and our processing power also. So when you try to install the PAN-OS 10, at least you just need to give if you're installing it in your laptop or something, please try to give it around 10 GB and around 4 CPU for this. Then only it can boot, otherwise it will not boot at all, because it requires a heavy processing as well as the memory as well. So if you like to practice the PAN-OS, then you can go a maximum you can do it with 8 or 9. It will be nice because 9 doesn't take much memory as well. Otherwise, if you have any dedicated server, please try to put that PAN-OS on that dedicated server, something which can give some more CPU memory. Then you can practice on that. Next, we'll see the next one. IoT security. At a glance, IoT device visibility, anomaly detection, risk assessment, prevention of all threats, policy recommendations, native enforcement, easy deployment. Challenge is nothing but 30% of all devices in enterprise environment today are posed rapidly increasing risks. Unmanaged IoT and OT devices are susceptible in a variety of threats, rarely monitored and have unfettered access to the enterprise networks. Traditional security tools cannot provide full visibility, is more important. And the solution is going to be like IoT security service combines with an ML with the patented App ID technology to provide the most accurate and deepest level of visibility into your IoT and OT devices. You just need to read a lot on this one. So what things is done in here? Trust every device on your network. ML driven full visibility, right? ML driven policy and native enforcement. Then easy to activate. So these are all the key features on the IoT security by the PanOS 10. Next one, next generation firewall for the Kubernetes. In the Kubernetes, what we are seeing, network visibility and micro segmentations and the layer 7 threat protection. This is very much required for this. Native Kubernetes deployment, consistent enterprise-wide network security, streamlined security for the DevOps, unified security management. These are all at a glance it's been given for this. Challenge is nothing but the containers and the Kubernetes have become the predominant methodology for developing and releasing the new software applications in the cloud environments. However, traditional NGFWs lack visibility and control for the Kubernetes environment and cannot take advantage for the rich capabilities of these sophisticated tools. That's why we just need to go with a PanOS 10. PanOS 10 is ML powered, so it can work with your container series, like there is CN series, integrations, security capabilities and other things. To ensure the DevOps speed and agility, CN series make use of the native Kubernetes orchestration integrated firewall. To integrate firewall deployment directly into the CI/CD deployment, we can directly implement into that. But we just need to verify that and checking out so that we can understand. The next one is like inline prevention. Inline prevention is nothing but inline prevention for the new attack. ML-driven security analytics, behavior-based detection, powered by intelligence from Wildfire and URL filtering. Challenge, billions of new cyber threats emerge every year as organizations constantly race to prevent them. Leveraging cloud scale resources, it will become very harder. So we just need to go for the solutions of this URL filtering, protection against weaponized files, credential phishing, malicious scripts, and fileless attacks without affecting the digital workflow. Like that, so many things with so many, like the terminologies which are coming up. We just need to learn all these things when you are going for an interview. The people may be asking like, what are the new features on the 10? So because we still not implemented that, but still we just need to know this. The next one, simplified decryption. Full visibility into the encrypted traffic, works with URL filtering, supports for a TLS 1.3, X performance boost. So SSL and TLS protocols is a useful tool for keeping information more secure. Unfortunately, cyber attackers also use encryption to bypass traditional perimeter security and steal valuable personal identifiable information and launch devastating ransomware attacks. So to attack this ransomware attacks and all, we require a simplified encryption on this one. That has been again ML powered NGFWs, which will be protecting your environment. Next, DNS security. Simplified security through the automation, prediction of blocking the new malicious domains, intelligent to act on threats over the DNS. Challenge. DNS attacks are on the rise and can take many different forms. A DNS attack can consider the DNS service unavailable, causing internet connectivity loss and disrupting your business. That is what the DNS is. Like DNS is using like coming through the UDP attacks and whenever it comes. So we just need to detect and we need to protect. Security service applies predictive analytics, machine learning, and automation to block attacks on the DNS. Tight integration with the ML power, which gives you automated protection, prevents attackers from bypassing the security measures and other things. The next, HA clustering. Failover supports always on data centers. Cost management with incremental addition of firewalls to existing HA pair. Simplified scaling of hardware firewalls and VM firewalls in the private cloud environments. At a business scale, they require a simple and cost-effective way to scale security against the sophisticated attacks, regardless of where their applications reside. So clustering, we just need to do. Definitely, we require an active pair or active standby. Like that we need to build it. That HA clustering is possible here. They are talking about the clustering. It's not only like a pair or something. We can have multiple firewalls can be put in the cluster, and we can manage all these things. And more new features on PAN-OS 10, real-time signature streaming, fastest next generation firewall, and automated device quarantine for stronger security, SNORT support, device ID, flexible monitoring of SaaS applications. So this is called as a wildfire, that is providing the protections in the real-time after cloud analysis, offering the zero delay signatures updates and rapid threat prevention. And the fastest in the next generation firewall. Anyway, we have the PA7000 series, automated device quarantine for stronger security. SNORT is not support. Device ID, which is given like 9 itself. PAN-OS 9 itself, it is having the app ID and user ID, and PAN-OS like now it is introducing the device ID like that. So it can protect our SaaS applications also, software as a service. So this is about the new features which are installed in the PAN-OS 10, but we need to go for an upgradation. Then only we can enjoy these features. Next, we'll talk about the Panorama. Panorama is nothing but the entire PA series, VM series, and CN series, and all the cloud boxes, cloud Kubernetes boxes, and everything which is coming under the one roof, that is called the Panorama. It is a management solutions. Security deployment can overload IT teams with the complex security rules and data from the multiple sources. Panorama network security management empowers you with easy to implement, consolidated policy creation, and centralized management features. You can provision the firewall centrally and use industry-leading functionality to create effective security rules as well as gain insight into the network traffic and threats. What are the features of the Panorama? Management, visibility, security, automation. These all can be done. So they made the automation also through the Panorama. Next, policy management, network security management, centralized visibility, network insight security, and automated threat response. These are all done through the REST APIs. Key features management will say device groups, hierarchies, and tags for organizing the policies, templates, tags for reusable network configurations, administer specific commits to avoid accidental changes, easy software updates and upgrades, SD-WAN connectivity for the branch offices, zero-touch provisioning to simplify onboarding and provisioning of firewalls at remote sites. Visibility, centralized visibility across infrastructure, correlated insights that can be acted upon, health profiling for improved understanding of the device usage. Security, easy transformation of legacy rules into application-based rules using intelligence gathered by the PAN-OS. Rule usage analysis to reduce the attack surface and improve security posture. Centralized deployment of the latest security content updates. Automation, log filtering and automated actions on third-party systems. Automated policy deployments for deploying dynamic environments. XML and JSON-based REST APIs for easy integrations. These are all the key features that has been offered by the new Panorama. And deployment of the Panorama can be taken like this. So this is a Panorama engine. You can take it. This is a Panorama engine which can work for headquarters, data centers, branches, as well as public clouds, Cortex Data Lake, Prisma Access. And it can do the log management also. Log collector hardware, log collector on the private cloud, log collector on the public cloud, Cortex Data Lake. This is also like, so this is the Panorama engine. You can just see. Deployment, how you deployment the Panorama. You can deploy the Panorama either as the hardware or virtual appliance. Hardware appliances. Panorama can be deployed as the M200, M500 or M600 management appliance. Virtual appliances, Panorama can be deployed as a virtual appliance on VMware ESXi, KVM, Microsoft Hyper-V, or in public cloud environment, including Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services, Government Cloud, and Azure also. All three clouds, it is possible. So we just need to install as an appliance to manage the Panorama. to manage all the firewalls through the Panorama like that, we require an appliance. Else, we can deploy it in a normal virtual machine like that. We can do either in the cloud or in our VMware ESXi. Deployment modes, there are three: are there management only, Panorama, and log collector. Management only in the sense manages configurations for the managed devices but does not collect the managed logs. Panorama controls both policy and log management functions for all managed devices. Third, log collector. Panorama collects and manages logs from the managed devices. This assumes another deployment of Panorama is operating in a management mode only. Like if you like to integrate all these three into the one box, in the sense you require to give more CPU and processing power and memory and other things, we can use the Panorama in three ways. One is just a log collector, or is just like a management only, or we can combine everything and we can put it in that way. Like, so this is deployment scale like Panorama hardware appliances M200 series, M500 series, M600 series. We need to buy these boxes to deploy the Panorama on this. And the number two, the number of devices which are supported, 5,000 devices are supported, means 5,000 firewalls are supported. High availability, active, passive, it's possible. Administer authentication, it can be done through the local database, ADS, SAML, LDAP, and TACAX Plus. And management tools and APIs, graphical user interface, command line interface, XML and JSON based REST API. You can do that. So this is your controller, Panorama controller, which goes with the synchronized configuration across all firewalls, whether it can take. The next one is like third, Panorama virtual appliance system requirements. What are the system requirements are there? When you would like to install it in the VM series, we require minimum 16 CPU for that box. And management only node, like a 16 CPU, 32 GB is required. Default is this much. It's about the log storage and other things. Here, Panorama mode. Panorama mode is going to do all these things, management as well as the log collection. So we require 81 GB upgraded to 224 GB is required. Then 2 TB to 24 TB, that is for a log storage. Log collector mode 16 CPU, 30 GB. You can just see the list. And on the public cloud supported, it's like Azure Government Cloud, AWS Government Cloud, and the GCP. And the private cloud deployment supported is a Hyper-V, that is under the Microsoft, KVM under the Linux, VMware ESXi through your Windows. And vCloud Air, that is also possible. It's in your Mac environment, maybe. Okay, then it is a very important thing. We just need to know about the certifications which are offered by the Palo Alto. Palo Alto certifications are on par with the Checkpoint certifications and Cisco certifications. You can just say equal prominence is equal value, and the people looking for a certification has to be done. It is not only just the certification, because so many dumps are available on the market, and either any other means also like that you can clear the exams also. Because it's not only just clearing the exam, it's about taking the technical things and you doing all these things and having a practical experience on that. That will only help us to be put it in a complex environment over there. Because a scenario whenever it is coming up like that, we never see in our lab environment or something. So it is about that how much experience you have, how much confidence you have to work on a Palo Alto based boxes. That makes more sense. But to get a chance, you require to have the certification. So we will go through the certification slides now. In 2018, Cybersecurity Ventures estimated that there will be 3.5 million unfilled, you see that unfilled cybersecurity jobs, unfilled by 2021, because there are 3.5 million jobs are there in cybersecurity. So don't lose hope. There are still more room is there for us to get a job in the cybersecurity platform, and Palo Alto will help us a lot of jobs which are there in the market. We can get that easily. But only thing is that you just need to work on with your own hands. Just need to keep your hands on and wash your hands on this one. So clearly, you just need to make dirty your hands on the Panos boxes to work on, so that you will be able to get a job on this firewall markets. Next, we'll see one by one certifications. Entry level is a PCCET, it is called as. We will see one by one. It's an entry level certification. Administrator level certification is a PCNSA. Engineer level certification is PCNSE, PCCSC, PCSAE. It's an advanced. We will see one by one. So we have to do first the entry level. then the administrator level, then engineer level. People are directly jumping into this. If they are quite good in the Palo Alto boxes, or they are working with any other boxes as well for quite some time, they can jump directly into this PCNSC. And a lot of DOMs which are available for this kind of certification are CC, a lot of things on this. So better if you go by one steps, then it will be nice for you to that having the proper knowledge about that. Okay, let us see the first certification on the entry level. Entry level technician, PCCET, that is nothing but Palo Alto Network Certified Cybersecurity. That is a PCCET. Okay, certification is a knowledge-based certification that validates candidates' understanding of fundamental cybersecurity, network security, cloud security, and SOC security. What is the certification objective? It's the first of its kind credential to cover the fundamental.
We cannot see your screen.
Hello? Hello?
So we cannot see your screen.
Can't see? Nobody can see it?
Yes, sir.
What happened? I don't know.
We are able to see.
No. We are able to see. We are able to.
Yeah, some people are not seeing it. Please verify. Or please just join again. You can cut your connection and you can please join again. Sometimes it happens due to the line conditions and other things on your place. Screen is visible. Screen is visible. Thank you. Okay, certification objectives are the PCCET certification is the first of its kind credential to cover your foundational knowledge and industry recognized cybersecurity and network security concepts. Somebody speaking again, screen is visible. Thank you. And various cutting edge advancements across all Palo Alto network technologies. Target audience, who can take this certification? Designed for students, technical professionals, as well as non-technical individuals interested in validating comprehensive knowledge on current cybersecurity trends. Next one, Palo Alto Network Certified Security Administrator. This is nothing but PCNSA. Validates the knowledge and skills required for network security administrators responsible for deploying and operating. What is the cost for certification? It'll all near about $300, I can just say. Every other certification will come under around $300. $300 it will be coming. So if you would like to have the exact one, I will get this information from the Palo Alto site is having all this, or you can just get into the View, Pearson View certification site is there. We can go and get all the certification cost over there. So any network certification will be under the, like under 200 or $300 below that only. So, okay, course certification objectives, highly integrated and automated. Palo Alto Networks product portfolio comprises multiple separate technologies working in unison to prevent successful cyber attacks. PCNSA seeks to identify people who can operate Palo Alto Networks, next generation firewalls, to protect networks from cutting edge cyber threats. Target audience, security administrators responsible for deploying, operating, managing Palo Alto Network and network security suite. Means if you like to take this PCNSA, you should be already working on Palo Alto Network boxes. Security administrator responsible for deploying, operating, managing. Better if you have some hands-on experience on the Palo Alto boxes, then you are able to take up this certification. Okay, no problems. Next one, Palo Alto Certified Network Security Engineer, PCNSE. This certification validates the knowledge and skills required for network security engineers that design, deploy, operate, manage, and troubleshoot Palo Alto Networks next generation firewalls. PCNSE certified individuals have demonstrated in-depth knowledge of the Palo Alto Networks product portfolio and can make full use of it and with the vast majority of the implementation. Certification objectives, highly integrated and automated. Palo Alto Networks product portfolio comprises multiple separate technologies working in unison to prevent successful cyber threats. Validates engineers can correctly deploy Palo Alto Network next generation firewalls while leveraging rest of the platform. Anyone who uses Palo Alto Network products, including customers, partners, system engineers, system integrators, and support engineers, can take this PCNSE. Next one is Prisma certified. This is coming under the cloud operations and other things and all. So deploy and administer all aspects of the Prisma cloud. Individuals with the PCSSE certification will have demonstrated in-depth knowledge on Palo Alto, like the Prisma Cloud. The cloud has changed all aspects of the application deployment lifecycle. The Prisma Cloud offers the industry broadest security and compliance coverage for applications, data, and entire cloud native technology stack throughout the development lifecycle and across multi and hybrid cloud environment. So certification objectives cover Prisma Cloud Enterprise, and Prisma Cloud Compute, all three. Target audience, demonstrating knowledge, skill, and abilities on Prisma Cloud Computing using the cloud security, customer success, DevOps, cloud support, professional services, AppSec engineers, cybersecurity architects, and team leads. If you are not working in cloud, please don't come to this certification. That's what they are looking for, because all people are working on mostly on the on-premises, the data center environment only. I see many other people are on the on-premises, like the PA boxes they will be working on. Mostly like they may be upgraded themselves to the virtual machine firewalls or something. But here it talks about completely on the cloud side. So we need to implement the firewall to on cloud. Then we can go for this kind of a certifications. Next one, Security Automation Engineer, PCSAE, validates the knowledge and skills required to develop, administer Cortex security orchestration, automation, and response platform with a native threat intelligence. XSOAR is a single platform that orchestrates action across your entire security product stack for faster and more scalable incident response. PCSAE validates that engineers can correctly understand the utility out of the box and custom playbooks and integrations. They are also able to identify customer processes that can be automated through the XSOAR and know how to customize the XSOAR, reduce the mean time to resolution leveraging. So XSOAR functionality, including customers, partners, system engineer, analytics, and admins. So before coming into the certification, at least I just need to do some automation activity. Automation in the sense I'm talking about most on the, if people are working on the Ansible, if you're working on Ansible or something like that, it's very easy for you to go for an automation service. It will be a very big problem for you, because Ansible is the one that which we are using for a lot of automations over the network, as well as we try to make it out for the, the firewalls as well. Duration of the course, which certification we can give after this training, what is the fees? Okay, I will be giving all the informations later. Okay, through the chats, I'll just give it to you. So this level of certification which I can take here, like that, the PCSNA level, I can take that, this level, security engineers, this level we can go for this. I'll be giving you the price and other things through the mail, don't worry. Okay, what is the charges which I'm making there? But this level will be taking at least a month for you to clear that. Means you just need to go through all the labs as well. I have the list of labs, I can give it to you. So we need to have a proper environment to build the labs as well, because everything is going through the online only. Better you come with the the requirements which I am telling you to install the firewall in your laptop or your desktop or something. Minimum 16 GB is required, i7 is required, around 500 GB of the hard disk is required, so that we can install and we can operate on these things. So we just need to do a lot of scenarios as well as the simulations as well. So it may draw more power, more CPU as well as the memory from your box, from your laptop. So we just need to be prepared with that. Somebody is asking, sir, how many years of experience we can keep as nobody ready to take fresher? Okay, this is your, okay, now can you try an advanced level so that after the training? Yes, definitely it's possible. We can do that, but when you're going for a clouds level, in the sense, we just need to install everything on the cloud, because a Palo Alto need to be installed in the cloud, then we can operate on this. So once you are installing in the cloud, in the sense, everything comes in a price. We will not be able to do it in the free tier. AWS is offering the free tier, but the free tier is only for the selected products only. When you are installing the Palo Alto as a third-party box into their network, then we need to pay money for that. Like per hour charges will be done on this. Maybe like Palo Alto, maybe giving some 30 days or 60 days evaluation copy to try out everything. But we need to install it in the hardware on the AWS platform. So when we are installing it, we just need to pay for a per hour basis on this. So I just need to calculate the prices and other things. Currently, I am taking the classes on the VM based, like a virtual machine based, which you can install it in your own VMware ESXi or VMware workstation itself is enough, so that you can practice as many hours you want. No need to pay any money. Like the virtual machine, we just need to get that. The only the ISO, we just need to get it. I can tell you where to get it and all these things. And it will be working out. Palo Alto has got some kind of the kind of licensing options are there. Even without a license, also we can work on a Palo Alto for learning purposes only, not for production at all. I'm telling you, learning purposes only, we can work on a Palo Alto firewall very easily. Every other lab, whichever we try to make it out on the VMware, it is going to work out. No need to worry about that. And we will not be able to do it in a very heavy, like packet format or something like that. We will not be able to, gigabit of the traffic, we will not be able to handle it. We are going to have only like 1 or 2 machines on this and one firewall. Either maybe like we will be installing another firewall to do the HA operations or something, like. So this is very much enough to clear your certifications as well as to clear your interviews on this, the knowledge which you are having it. But if you are looking for the cloud side, in the sense, we need to install it in the cloud at your cost. We will be installing it in our cost, and then we will have to work on this and all. So this course may be taking for a month or something. We can go for this, to deploy that and try out every other lab scenario by your own hands. And we can do all the recordings as well when we are doing that, whatever the mistakes you are making that. And I'll be giving you the proper notes for you, and I'll be guiding you that how to configure it through the CLI as well as through the GUI, graphical user as well as the command line. Palo Alto is a very nice box, and it never crashes, and it works very fine. But only thing is that it takes a lot of memory as well as your CPU cycles on your laptop. We can go for a lower version, 8 or something like that we can install and we can work on. But when you're going for a later certification, in the sense, you should have worked on a 10. PAN-OS I'm talking about. So at that time, we may have to require many heavy powered boxes and things so that we can install all the PAN-OS 10 on that one, and we can practice on this. So practicing doesn't make any, like, because we need to do a lot of practice, and then only we can face the exam as well as the interview things and all. But this demo must have helped you, because PAN-OS features we just need to know. Then only we can clear the latest exams, whichever it is coming up on this one. Like next one. And cloud security engineer, this was we were talking on this, and security automation engineer, this we already seen it. And this is my the contact information. As usual, I used to give it all while my things are getting over like that. So you can note down all these informations on this. Do you have any person in Pune? No, Pune, in the sense you are looking for any certification or something like that, or how you wanted to train yourself for POC sales. Now see, I'm giving it on like, I'm giving it like an individual basis. I'm just doing that. I don't know anyone like, anyone on the Palo Alto or something like that, but people are there. But you can contact the people on Palo Alto only. They will be helping you like to do all these things. And you can talk to the salesperson to get like license copy of this something by providing your employee ID and your official email address or something. They will definitely contact you to get to give you the license copy of this, and they will be giving you the virtual machine also. You can download and you can practice on this. That's the problem. That's not a problem. I have the VMs with me, like I can share it with you if you'd like to come for the class or something. That's not an issue. You can contact me on this numbers, which is in your screen. You can send me an email, and you can talk to me directly on there, and you can talk to me on WhatsApp, Signal, and Telegram, and everything. All are there nowadays. So can we do all lab 100%? Definitely we will be able to do that. But only thing is that I would like to expect you that you will be coming out with the, in VM. Yes, in VM we can do that. Definitely we require the heavy machines is required. Machine in the sense i7 minimum required, and you just need to give some 4 cores for that minimum, and around 8 to 10 GB just need to give it for the Palo Alto VM itself. Like, so if you have a dedicated server, then we can try to do at least 95% of the practicals whichever are in the course wise, we can able to see that. Not an issue. You can see all. And as usual, if you have any questions, you can ask me. You can unmute your mic and you can ask me all the questions. I can able to answer your questions now. And I will be showing you a small demo on this one, which I constructed on this for this session. It's like that normal Windows 7 machine will be talking to the web server through the firewall. It's like that I just created one small, like this is a Windows 7 machine. You can take it. That will be connecting to the firewall boxes. And through the firewall, it is an inside zone. I have the web server. So this web server will be talking by, it'll be contacted by this Windows 7 server, Windows 7 box, which will be talking through the firewall. Firewall will be doing the static netting. It'll do the static net, and the web server page will be displayed when the Windows 7 opens the browser and seeing it, accessing all these things. It's a very simple practice which I can show you on this. If you don't have any questions, I'll just directly go to the the lab, and I can show you. I guess no questions are there, so let me go to that. I'll show you. Please tell me if you are seeing my screen, because I'm going to show you that. This is the virtual machine which I'm installed on this, ESXi on this. This is the PAVM login, admin, and password is also admin. This is the version which I am using for version 6. I am using it. Show interface management. There is a CLI, you just need to learn it. Then only you can able to run the commands on this. So this is a 192.168.1.10. That is a firewall IP which I given on this management interface on this. You can just say show. If you just give all the commands, you can able to see this. Show config, show clock, show CLI, show admins, show interface, like that. You can just see interface. Just see show interface all. You can just see that all the interfaces will be shown on this. This is the firewall. I'm directly working on the firewall, so you may not be able to see the things properly. What I can do it from the Windows 7. Windows 7 box. I am on this Windows 7 box. Yeah, somebody's pinging. Okay, we need to have any prerequisite before going for this course. Yeah, if you have already worked on network for at least for 1 or 2 years, it'll be nice. Else you may have to start from the scratch. You finished your BTech or something like that, you just come for a course or something. Maybe harder to understand this. You require to have the operating system knowledge, network operating system knowledge, like any Windows or Linux. If you worked on, it's nice. Or a little bit of network if you already worked on, it's very nice, like Cisco boxes, configurations of the switches, routers, and the WAN connections, LAN connections, and other things. If you worked on, it will be nice, so that you will be able to get the things very easily. Else it will be like very harder for you to understand. It may take a lot of time for you to understand all these things. Let me log into my Windows 7 box. We'll show you that. It's loading in now. Okay, please wait. It's my booting. It's already booted. No problems. So now I will show you my things on this. Let me log into mine, and I will show you the IP address of this. My PC configuration. It's like 192.168.1.103 is my IP. So I will be able to log into this firewall because I am sitting in the same subnet as well. So let me open up the Firefox, and I will log into this Palo Alto firewall, which is I'm running a version 6.0. That is for just a demo only. I just made it. We will work on 9 maximum when you come for the sessions or something. Starting. It takes time. Okay. It is taking more time. Now it's come. So let me log into this firewall. HTTPS. We just need to use 192.168.1.110. Zero. Let me log into the box. It's taking more time showing. I'll be able to log into the GUI by using the box, like the browser only. So as usually, it will be coming up with the Palo Alto screen. Bit slow. Yeah, now it came. So admin is the same username and password for the Palo Alto. Just click login. It'll take some time for it to load. This is the normal warnings. Creating administrative sessions, please wait. Loading it may take some time because I given very much less memory for this Windows box. You can increase the memory. I have 16 GB, but I given around 6 GB for the Palo Alto box and near about 4 GB for this, but still take time. It's coming PAVM. It's showing the PAVM. Palo Alto virtual machines. It's saying. So the screen will come up now. Now it's coming. So this is the management interface which we are seeing this. Individual boxes can be managed through this, but when we are using the cluster, when we are going for so many Palo Alto boxes need to be managed. In the sense, we require the panorama. Through the panorama only we can able to manage the complete infrastructure of our Palo Alto boxes. And this is the general informations like this is the device name is PAVM and host IP address is 192.168.1.110 and the mask is this and the gateway is this and all the information are there. So this is going on. What are the interfaces I've been configured like 1, 2, 3 I configured the interfaces. One for the outside and number 2 is for the inside. Number 3 is for the DMZ. Like that I configured. I can configure all the zones as well as the VLANs as well as the virtual routing, everything from here. I just need to go to the network. Once I get into the network, then I will be able to configure all these things. Let me make it slightly bigger so you can able to see that one. So this is the interfaces which I have configured here. Interfaces are like Ethernet 1/1, 1/2, 1/3. All are layer 3 interfaces. In this one, I configured the interface Ethernet 1/1 as a 192.168.1.111. This is used as like an outside interface. And 1/2 is nothing but an inside interface. I given the different IP for this. And 1/3 that I use it for the DMZ. Like this I will do once again. I need to make up that one again. I annotate like I'll just do like this. This is a firewall. This is a Palo Alto firewall, and the interface which is going outside, and the interface which is coming at DMZ, and the interface which is giving like an inside like this. So inside we will be putting the servers and as well as in DMZ. Outside will be going for the internet connections as well. So like 3 interfaces we configured. We can configure 8, 9 interfaces we can configure. Out of that, one is used for the management interface, which we will be taken automatically. Okay, so these 3 interfaces I manually configured with the IP addresses and other things. I have attached these interfaces in the virtual machine, so then only we can talk to outside. And this is the zones. Let me show the zones. There are 3 zones I configured. One is an outside zone, inside zone, and a DMZ zone. Outside is for to talk to the internet, and inside is for the inside servers as well. DMZ for a demilitarized zone. If you'd like to share some of the information to the outsider also, as well as the insider also, we'll be keeping in DMZ. As many as zones we can configure that by clicking the add button here. We just click add, we can add the zones here. So everything is a GUI, very easier actually. When speaking about that, we can configure VLANs. If you like to configure the VLANs on this one, and we can go for the sub interfaces as well. And virtual routers is very much required. This is a new concept in the Palo Alto. We require a virtual router configuration has to be done on this. And this more runtime. These are all the networks which has been shown because we have the Ethernet 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. These are all the networks which are attached. And what is the next hop it is showing for that? 1.1 is a gateway for us for all. The default route is pointing to the 1.1 like this. And I can configure the protocols also on this. Like a router, I can configure the RAPE, and I can configure OSPF version 3. This is for IPv6 like that. BGP I can configure. Multicast I can configure. So many things we can configure on this box, right? And if you like to run this Palo Alto like a DHCP server or something, we can do it from here. And this here will just show you like a user device information. And device information, you can see the setup informations are here. Host name is PAVM. I didn't configure the name as well. Time zone, we can configure everything on this one. I given it in the normal default mode only. It is being configured on this. So this is authentication settings, logging and reporting settings, and minimum password complexity, management interface settings. So through this management, what all things I can do? I can do the ping, I can do HTTPS, and I can do SSH. These all things possible. And this is what the Panorama servers are not there. Like nowadays, it's not there. So like I can go for that, and there is a licensing is there here. Licenses I just need to show. Actually, this is not actually licensing. When you have the license, you can manually upgrade the license by getting the license file from the Palo Alto. You can upgrade it and retrieve the license from the some other server, lifetime server. Like that, it will talk to the server and get the license key. You can do it with the Panorama also. It is possible. Activate resourcing user authentication code. If you receive the code through the email or something for your evaluation version or something, you go for this. You can give the authentication key here to making it. And the objects we need to create it. Objects are nothing but the servers, web servers, and what do you say? Other things are configured like objects here. Web servers and routers, firewalls, load balancers, whatever it may be behind the firewall, whatever it is going to be there, that we'll have to configure it like an objects here. Monitoring, this goes for all the monitoring stuff and other things. This will be giving you the graph file. Network monitoring is here. Threat map. Currently no threat is as such, but we are seeing it. Threat monitor. This guy is connecting no data to display, and change monitors, no data to display. Traffic map, which we can see that this is how the traffic has been running on. Like this is through this we can able to see all these things, and logs. Here the traffic logs which we can see, threat logs we can see. Currently is nothing as such. System logs, definitely it will be there something. We can able to see that. These are all the system logs out there. And alarms, if there is any alarms that's coming up, like any CPU alarm or monitor alarm or like, environmental alarm, we'll be able to see all these things. And whenever we are doing that, we just need to save this one and we'll have to commit it. Then only the things will work on this. Let's come back to the dashboard. And I have configured certain policies on this. Okay, I did the static NAT policies on this. I'll show you that static NAT. This is what the policy which I was discussing about with you. Like I created a static NAT. Original packet is coming from the inside. Okay, the destination going is on the outside. And who is the source address is the CentOS box. That is now nothing but our web server is being configured on this. So the translated packet is going to be like with the static IP. So when I'm trying to access this CentOS server, which is having the 10 series IP, which is an inside, I will be accessing it through the 192.168.1.12 file. So this is the policy which I created, the NAT policy. I need to create the security policy also. So this is a web server access. The people who are coming from outside to access the web server inside, like this is the source from outside, and address can be anything, and the destination is going to be like inside, like that. The IP which I configured, that is a 192.168.1.125, and the source and the category, the people can use the HTTP to access the inside server, and action is nothing but allow. I am allowing this connection for this. So I installed this policy already, so I already committed that. What I do now, I will just go to the browser, another window. In the another window, I will be able to access this the firewall. Like one more tab. 1 second. I'll create one more tab. Then I'll be accessing this http://192.168.1.125. So now I am accessing this. Welcome to the web server through the static NAT configured via Palo Alto firewall. Palo Alto firewall, yes. Means I am sitting in the, I will just explain you again. So this is a Windows 7 PC. This Windows 7 PC has got an IP address of 192.168.1.103 something. So he is connecting to the firewall. So this is the firewall, Palo Alto firewall is sitting. This is connecting to the firewall on the outside interface. So inside interface, in the inside interface, I have installed the web server. This is the web server. This web server has got an IP of 10.2.2.30. So I am coming from the 103, 192.168.103, but the outside interface, I am doing the NATing with this address, 192.168.1.125. When I am accessing this 1.125, this server will be responding back to me because there is a static net which has been configured on this. So I'm coming from the outside, I'm going to the inside. When the firewall will be doing the NATing, that's what I'm seeing. I'm accessing C. I'm seeing that 1.125 I'm accessing. So it is giving that. I will be showing you this. I'll be showing you the things. Oh, one second. Let me do the annotation. Let me clear all the drawings. Then I can just show you. Let me log into this root and give it. And I will give the IP address of this server. This is 10.2.2.30. You just see that? It is a 10.2.2.30. That is the IP address of this server. This is sitting in the inside. When I'm trying to clear this, when I'm trying to log into this, I'll be getting this page. This is the statement which I am getting in the round side. This is the web server home page. Welcome to web server through the static net configured on Palo Alto firewall, like that. So that's what I was getting here also. Like, welcome to the web server through the static net configured on Palo Alto. So this is like a small static net which we done on this, and through the virtual machine, this virtual machine on this one we can configure as much as possible. And let me log into the firewall using the putty also. Give that 192.168.1.110. So I'm logging as the admin. Password is also admin. So I logged into this. So this is my admin PA at VM, whether it's showing. So show interface management. I can see the IP address of the management on this one. It's possible. I can see that. And show system config. It's not working. There are many commands over like you can just say disk space. I can check how much is the disk space is left out. So I given around 50 GB somewhere other it is showing all the space on this. And show system state. I can see state is something like it is giving the state on this. Show system like that. I can give all the commands as well. Statistics. Something more is required on this. Session statistics I can see. It's not showing me anything. Okay, anyway. Like I can give the question mark to see all the questions on this one. Like what all the commands can be, we can enter on this one. Like clear, configure, debug, delete, exit, find, FTP, grep. These are all the Linux commands only. So if I like to see something like I can give the show commands. If I like to do the request, similarly I can do the request on this. Netstat I can bring. Ping I can do. I can ping outside also. Ping host. I am pinging the Google DNS from here. So it is showing. It is pinging on this one. So like I can do the netstat. Netstat is coming up. So all the ports which are opened on this one, it will be showing on this. Netstat minus nr. It's not taking. It's a Linux command. Help will not work. Okay, anyway, netstat is showing. Netstat minus I. Okay, netstat is working. Anyway, we can see that. And other commands we can see on this. This is like scheduling, setting, SSH, tail, target, TCP dump, trace route. Trace route I can do. Trace route, invalid syntax. Like many other commands are there. Trace route source, trace route gateway, trace route IPv4. Then let me check. Host. Let me try whether it is working or not. Yeah, it is working. It's going through the 192.168.1.1 is the first. That is my gateway. After that, it is going to some other IPs. Okay. Then it is reaching the 8. Through the internet, it is going on. So like normal, all the network commands we can try on this one. Traceroute we can do definitely. From which source you would like to do, like that we can do. Like many other commands, we can try on this pcap. We can take that pcap is nothing but examine the packet capture on the file content. We can do show operational parameters, set operational parameters, and quit, exit this session, ping the host and networks, and find CLA commands with the keyboard. Find what I say, find ping. Okay, it is not working. Anyway, we just need to learn many things on this one command line as well. But we will be mostly doing the Palo Alto firewall by configuring it through the GUI only. But still, we can do the many other things through CLI itself. There are CLI syntax which is available on this. When you go to the automation or something like that, CLI is very much important. Configuration of CLI is more important. We need to configure it. I can just say configure. Then if we go to the configuration mode, see that we are into the configuration mode. It's a very dangerous mode. We should not get into that. Checking, committing, copy, delete, edit, exit, find, load, move, override, run, save, set, show. Show zone. This much of our zones are there. Outside zone, inside zone, DMZ zone. 3 zones I configured, right? Like that we can have many others show commands as well. Show network, let me try. This is the network, which are all the IPs which I configured on this. It's showing that. See, you can just see that the output format is a JSON format. Are you seeing that? This output format is nothing but a JSON format. This is a JSON format we call it as normally. So there are 3 network interfaces which I configured 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. And the network is nothing but like it's a layer 3 and IPv6 are not configured. Enable is no. Like advertisements are not there. IP address of the Ethernet 1/1 is 1111 like this. Ethernet 1/2 IP address is 10.2.2.5. This is in the inside zone. Inside interface it is given as a comment. And a 1/3 which is given as like a 10.0.10 which is the IP which is given. That is a DMZ interface which I am giving. Then it goes to that QoS profile. So many things which are showing on this. Then virtual router is there. Then show, what else we can see on the show? Let's see, show setting, show import, show threads. Let me see if it gives me any outputs. Nothing is there. Show reports. I can get no reports as such. Like we can run many other commands on show commands like device config. I can try show device config. It shows all the configurations of our PA box which is configured. System management interface IP and its mask, and it is threads weekly updating, something like that. It goes on download only. Action is download. It is talking to the update service, updates.paloaltonetworks.com, like it goes. Time zone is US specific. We can change that. Telnet is yes, HTTPS disabled. It has been disabled. We are working through the SSH only. So default gateway is 1.1 and the logs and other things are configured. So like we can configure it through the GUI as well as the CLI also. It's possible for us. This is the dashboard which we are seeing it. How many people are logged into this? Through the CLI are logged into the it is showing, and through the CLI. One is through the console and another through the SSH it has been logged in. That's what it's showing. Admin is logging through the web. This is the web section. Web session it is showing. How many interfaces are there? I can make the widgets more and lesser. Logs, threat log, system, high availability, application, and everything I can make on this. So as we are talking for last 2 hours maximum, I guess. So we come to this end of this session. If you have any queries in your mind about anything technically or classes or anything, you can ask me. I will be ready to answer you, and you can talk to me on this number anytime, and we will be seeing the labs through the virtual machines only. And if some of the labs cannot be done on the virtual machine because of the license is not there, we will be seeing it on the any one of the cloud, like AWS cloud, we can install and we can see that. I'll try to minimize your cost which you're spending on the AWS, that I can make it sure, because I used to offer some other trainings as well. AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, F5 and the load balancers and the GTM, ASM, many other trainings also I used to offer. You can contact me for any course you would like to do it. Okay, I'm ready to answer that. And do we need any prerequisite before? Yeah, this question was already asked on this. If you have any questions, please ask me. You can unmute your mic and you can ask me the questions. I'm ready to answer you. People are there. I see some couple of people are there still in the meeting. Please ask me. Don't hesitate. Sorry. Any questions from your side?
Can you please share the course outline?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Can you please just share the course outline of the Palo Alto course?
Means course contents and all you are looking for.
Yes, but I missed the course content slides.
Okay. I will send you that. Please give me the email address in the chat. So other people also can give the email addresses. I will send you this slide as well as the recordings also to you. So immediately you will be receiving it in half an hour. Please provide your email addresses so that I can talk to you. If any new persons has joined, you can give it. Else I might be having the email address of yours. Yeah, please, Hasanwali Khan has given that.
I have one.
Yeah.
I have one more question.
Yeah. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, okay. How could I do the lab by itself, or you will provide me a virtual machine or with licenses?
See, the labs which we can install it in your own boxes as well. Okay, without a license, we can do many part of things which we can do that. Many of the labs which we can do that. But only thing which are all special like URL filtering, and some other things are there. Those labs we may not be able to do that. That time I will be looking for a licensing on this. That time I will be making an arrangement for you to see that labs as well. I'll make you to do all these things. Don't worry.
Okay,
Not a
so
problem.
these things, do you provide the virtual license for us to? I will do the practice
No,
by
you will be
itself.
doing it like I may not be able to give access to my laptop or something. Better if you can install it in your laptop. It will be nice because I can't provide this because
In your
everything.
laptop, we have a limited.
Hmm.
In
You
your
can.
laptop, we have a limited access, so we will do the very limited time lab on. So can you arrange a virtual machine license for us or for specific period? So I
Hmm.
will do the lab anytime on my laptop or in my
That will
lab
be a
scenario.
problem because I need to make the things ready because I am working also so that I will not be able to give you a lab or something like that. I just try to make it out in your own laptop. Like that, we'll install the virtual machine like a PAVM. Then we'll be doing all these things. That's what the model which I used to give it to all the people. Like so, currently I don't have the infrastructure to
Okay,
provide
so you
you to
provide.
do all the remote labs or something. Yeah.
Okay, for licensing purpose, you will provide the remote access, or rest of them we can do myself in my
Yeah,
lab.
you see, most of the labs which I'm going to show it to you, those most of the labs that everything can be done in your laptop itself, which I will be giving you all the,
Okay.
like lab providing and other things and all they give you how to do, what to do, and how to install it and can make it ready like that. So currently, I don't provide any kind of remote access to my labs or something. It's I may be looking for to put the resources to be ready. So it may take some time. Until then, I'll be giving you the labs and other things and all in your own. I would like to ask you, I'd like to make it to you like in your own laptop, you can create the labs and you can work on, like that's the way that
So
I.
how could we do the URL filtering and okay? So
Hmm.
how could we do the lab of SSL URL filtering or any others URL, especially license-based labs? So how could we perform those
License
labs?
based labs, like some other things are like because we can do it through the AWS and all these things. AWS is giving the license for us. Like when you install the PA VM on the AWS or something on the public clouds, we will be having the enough license copies has been available.
Oh,
So that time we can able to do all these things.
so
Else, if you're
anyone,
looking for completely on AWS itself,
okay, so
it's possible. Yeah.
it's completely free. I can go there and register on the AWS and request the Palo Alto. So it's give me a demo license or something like that.
Yeah, it is giving a demo license, but it may be working for a certain period only. And moreover, you may have to pay the price for the AWS costs, infrastructure cost. We need to pay for it. It's not free. Maybe Palo Alto will be
Okay.
giving the evaluation license for you, and for maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, you must be doing that for a certain time or something like that. You can do that. But if you like to do the repeatedly practicing and other things,
Okay.
every time you have to go for the subscription and we'll have
Can
to
you please
activate it.
confirm the time of?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Can you please give me a time? Confirm the time of the AWS license time, around 1 week or 2 weeks.
See, AWS, I will make you to create a license for yourself like that, because we can get it from the subscription. We can make that from the AWS cloud. We can make a subscription to the Palo Alto boxes. When you're doing that, it'll go to the Palo Alto site and it'll acquire the license and it'll get it installed in that box itself automatically. So that license will
Okay.
be around. It'll be working for 30 days or something like that. Within that, we can able to finish all the labs as well. It's possible.
So Palo Alto not providing the evaluation license for certain
Evaluation
period,
access,
like.
I just need to verify that, because previously that model was there. Even we can do it on the virtual machines as well. 30 days evaluation license was there. But now they are doing it for everything on a, we need to talk to the sales people to get the license or something, by providing all the, by providing our credentials and other things, official email ID and other things and all. So it is completely like a commercialized nowadays. There is nothing free as such is available. So we have
Okay.
to
Okay.
we have to install it everything. If you like to do complete features which are there in the Palo Alto, we require to do it, install it in the cloud, and we can do that. Else, we may have to purchase a license.
And
Then
we
we'll have to work.
and which version?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. When in which version we will perform the lab on OS 10 or OS 9?
We are actually currently I am showing it on the laptop only. Like we will be doing it like the labs, around 90% of the labs which we can perform it without a license itself. That is possible in the Palo Alto. So, but only thing is like a URL ring
I
and
won't.
many other things are panorama and other things and all.
Okay. I'm talking about the OS version. I'm just confirming the OS version. Which OS we will use perform the lab?
Partition we can install 9. Pano
Okay.
is 9, we can install.
And did you provide?
Yes.
Okay. Do you provide the do you provide the uh, pen or vouchers for the exam, or if I will do
No,
the
no,
arrange my.
I don't have that setup with me. I'm not doing it like a full-fledged trainer or something like that. I'm just doing it like, knowledge sharing or something. So I used to offer trainings like,
Okay. Okay.
I definitely do that. But I can, if you are looking for any vouchers or something, exam and other things, I can definitely make some arrangement for you where you can buy it and all. I can give you all the information to you, not a problem.
Okay.
You will get every other information from my side.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Personally, I will not provide all those things, but I will be arranging things for you to get it.
Confirming.
Definitely, I do.
I'm just confirming.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other questions from anyone? Yes, everyone has given the email addresses. I'll be sending you this, the demo as well as regarding and otherwise immediately. All things to say, I'll send it to you. Don't worry. And if you have any other queries on your mind, you can always contact me on this number which is displayed on the screen, and you can send an email on this one, and you can see it in my YouTube channel as well.
Um,
Yeah.
I have one more query.
Hmm.
Do you provide the slides and lectures or other things?
See, this is a Palo Alto which I given now. I used to provide for AWS, AWS Cloud, Azure Cloud, Google Cloud, and as well as the FI boxes and the Linux trainings also I used to take. Many other sessions as well. You can go to this YouTube channel. You can see all the trainings whichever I'm offering, and you can able to see all these things. And if you give me your email
No,
address,
I just confirmed you about the PPT. Uh, I just confirmed you PPTs about the PowerPoints material like that.
yeah, definitely
Do
I'll
you
give you
provide?
this demo. Definitely I will send it to you. But when you are coming for the sessions or something, I have the
Okay.
PPT for every other course designed. It is with me. I'll give it to you. Daily notes, handwritten notes, I'll give
Okay.
it. And the lab scenarios and other things which we
Okay.
are doing through the online, we will record it and you can have the whole entire sessions with you always. That always, sir. And
Okay.
additionally, I'll be providing some where you can get the vouchers and examinations and proxies or something like, not the proxy, about the terms and other things, which information where you can get it. Like that, I can give you all the information.
Okay.
No worries. I'll give all.
Thank you.
So it's like a full-fledged support I'll be giving it to you, because I'm working also, like I will not be able to much concentrate on your other things and all. That's why I'm arranging other people to give you vouchers and other things. I'll get the person who can offer these solutions to you, like. So he'll be giving the DUMs, vouchers and other things. You can purchase it directly. Even Palo Alto is also giving the vouchers also. You can purchase it from their side itself for examinations purpose. That's possible. Okay. So any other queries from anyone else? So if you know more queries, or then I will be ending this session. It was a nice fruit.
Can you please share the your YouTube channel ID over the chat?
It is there
So
in the
I will
screen. No? It
directly.
is there in the screen. You can just see youtube.com/c/Ramnath Keshav. It's there. youtube.com. It is there in the screen. You can copy that. Or I'm putting on my youtube.com/e/Ramnath. I put it on the chat. You can check that.
Okay, thank you. I
Android,
got it.
good session. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all the people who are joining today. We'll see all the labs once you come to the sessions, and we will be doing a lot of activities on this to learn all these things. Okay, so Sunil Saini is giving thanks a lot. Okay, then when you have any more queries, please do reach to me over the. Thank you for the great session. Thank you very much. And you can reach to me on the WhatsApp or Telegram or something like that. And you can send me an email, and you can watch all the videos which I will be putting in this video also in the YouTube in just next half an hour. You can able to watch that. You can please introduce my channel to your friends as well, please, and to your colleagues and friends and other people. Whoever is wanted to talk to something about any other courses as well, like you can ask me on this. Yeah, many people are giving now only. Okay. Okay, then thank you very much. Thanks for all joining today. And I will be ending this session. Thanks all. Thank you. Bye.